Bang! Ready to learn. Learning is cool and epic and really sexy. Don't you know this? Don't you know this? SMH my head, man. Alright, let me double check something. Boop. Put that over here. And we'll put you over here. Also this. Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't remember what I just said, friend. But now I learned. We're just gonna be chilling for a little bit until the ad break ends. Pontes las pilas. Hi, ganbarimasu. Ganbaru. Skip this version because fuck you. Bum, bum, bum. Amoire kakarera. No, let's see here. Estudiar. That's right. A ponerse las pilas y estudiar. Who's the other? Yeah, like a minute before the ad break ends. I just want to make sure, like, people are here. Let me fix my glasses while I'm at it, because they're a little crooked. That's better. Well, I still need to clean them. Octopath Traveler really does have really good, like, setting music. Frambo. Fran, what do you remember from last week? What do you remember from last week? Where's my stuff? I remember the accident. What accident? What? It was my fault. No, what? What are you talking about? What accident? Alright. Oh, ad break is over! Alright, let's get started. Howdy, cowboy! Welcome in! Oh, let me change this a little bit. There you go. I will never work as a safety inspector again. It's not your fault, friend. It's not your fault. Hey, look at me. It's not your fault. I didn't know you were the safety inspector. But that was your responsibility. That was your fault. That was your fault. That's such a good fucking bit. But you just said it wasn't my fault. Alright. Alright, listen here, you fuckers. We got Cowboy in the chat right now. We got Fred in the chat. You know what we're gonna do? Nihongo wa benkyou mashou. Listen, alright. We have some things to go through. Some things to remember, like things like that. Hey, listen, if you miss a lesson, that's not the point. I'm teaching myself. What's important is that you learn something, and that it's interesting to you. If all this, these alphabet letters mean nothing to you, that's fine. If you want to actually study, you should, but that's fine, right? Essentially, what we went over is the last chapter was going over nani ga suki desu ka? Like, what do you like? What do you love? What do you enjoy in terms of food preference? Right? Right, exactly. You learn some vocabulary about well-to-do, like well-known foods and drinks, right? Like niku is meat, sakana, fish, yasai, vegetables, kudomo no fruits, tamago, eggs, pan, bread, misoshiru, gohan. Gohan can mean food and rice, right? There's a bunch of stuff. So, 何が好きですか? 肉が好きです。魚は好きじゃないです。Right? Oh. Right? You no. I'm gonna put you in timeout if you start. I swear to God, there are kids playing outside and you cannot be barking at them. No, don't wag your tail. No, I'm not rewarding you. No. No, sir. No, sir. Look at this fucker. Oh, Anubis. He's upside down, but that's because of the orientation of how I put the camera. Alright, so then essentially, like, what do you eat every day, right? How to read a menu. Where should we eat? And then the important thing was basically going over the particle between ni and de, right? Ni is a location particle, right? In which way we define like a place, right? In China, in the park, in whatever. Like in the movie theater, at the store, whatever. But the main difference, right, is that my dog is wilding out. That's actually a good question. What's the word for wilding out in Japanese? What is the verb for wilding out? Let's see. Ah. This is funny. I mean, it's understandable. Hold on. Wilding out. 犬がやばい or 私の犬がやばい or あたおか basically yabai is like a catchphrase for anything that's like wild, insane, crazy, dangerous. Oh. Right. So and then yeah, just basically going over like, so de is the particle that you use whenever whenever you're dictating where the verb is taking place at. Does that make sense? Like, you can say that like I'm in Tokyo, Japan, right? And that in that situation you would use ni, where like however you structure that sentence, right? But if you're saying that I am skiing on Mount Fuji, right? Skiing is the verb, and in this place you would say Fujisan de skiing, whatever the fucking word is for skiing. But essentially you would use de in the particle whenever we're basically your the pointer. In this case, this is like this is a pointer. Doko is where, pointer. But it can also be like the store, the park is where I eat. Or where I'm running, or things like that. So essentially, whenever you have a location and you're doing a verb inside of it, you would use the de particle, right? While the ni particle is more so dictating, like, specifically, I'm declaring the location of an area, right? Hold on. Ni particle can also be used in time. Like it's essentially like to, at, in, or on, right? But it can also be interchangeable with de, depending on what's going on. So, like, for example, like another way to put it is that ni, because, like, you know, you can still use verbs, right? In your with the ni particle, because technically, you know, you would do stuff at a location, and that's where it gets kind of confusing. But a good way to remember it is that the ni particle is for moving verbs mainly, right? Moving. I'm basically, I'm running to school, I'm going to school, and things like that. I'm sitting in school. States of motion in a person, right? And things like that. But for other verbs that are a little bit like not entirely motions, they're more so activities, eating, sleeping, most sports and things like that. Like, hold on. Ba-da-da. Yeah. So for example, like that's what I thought. I'm at soup. So like skiing, even though technically you're moving, it's not a motion. It's an activity, right? So like if you're saying I'm skiing on Mount Fuji, is Fujisan, right? Which is the location, which is, if you didn't know, Mount Fuji, usually, like, for specifically Mount Fuji, they call them Fujisan, like as an honor, right? What's up, Pook Particular? But so it'd be Fujisan de suki o shimashita, right? Apparently sukiyo is technically the word for skiing, right? So that's an important part. But particles are really important, right? What about verbs that aren't necessarily about moving location, but instead a change of state? Give me an example. What is an example of a verb that is just a change of state? Awaken. Yeah, it's the same logic. So you're not moving, you know. I have a tongue piercing. So, and then essentially, right, I woke up in my bed. It is not a motion, it is an activity. It is, you know, it's still a verb, you know. So you would just go ahead and say, like, you don't have to say watashi wa, it's mostly implied. Like I said, Japanese is a very implied language. But beddo de me o samashita. Samashita. Me o samashita is basically like is like wake up, is to wake up. It's a polite standard form of like waking up. Exactly. Cause like it's like, and here's like the weird, this is the kanji study, right? That first kanji right that first kanji that looks like a bookcase is the kanji for I, right? Ba-ba-ba. And meo samashita is basically like I woke up, right? I woke up. But but essentially like you have the kanji for me, which is the I, and then samashita is essentially hold on. Kanji study. Yeah. My eyes! Sorry. Mega! Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Oh god. Oh, it's getting weird. Like, I want you guys to look at something real quick. I want you to look at something real quick. This is what I mean by, like, kanji is a very strange thing to learn, to study. This is like higher level stuff. So essentially, this is the entire sentence is me ga sameru or sameshita, or I woke up or I awake and things like that. So me right there, that's the kanji for I. Ga and then basically you have the onyomi and the kunyomi. Basically the Japanese pronunciation and the Chinese pronunciation where it originated from. And then you have each individual like stroke meaning different things, right? So this is the kanji for to remember, right? To see, this is and you can see like even the kanji is made up of another kanji. So this is the kanji for to see, which is made up of the kanji for I. Does that make sense? And it's and things like that. But you can definitely tell, right, that when you use the kanji within a sentence, depending on how it's placed, you read it differently. But then you can definitely, but you can see that there is like there's a trend to be diluted, hallucination, resolution, sense of smell, sense of balance, stimulates, waking up, sense of taste, things like that. Right? So kanji's weird when you start studying. Let me go look back on chat. Kono kotoba wa douyu imi desu ka? What does this word mean? Well, which word specifically? So we can actually take a part of Grand Inquisitor's question here. Right? I'll just post that for Twitch. The top one? When your model blinks, it actually is tracking when you blink. Oh no, it's on the timer. I have my 3D model one, which does track my facial features, but this is just a voice activated one. The top one? I don't, what you mean? What's not hanging there? What's what hanging there? These questions are weirding me out, guys. Deska means belongs to someone in you. No, Deska is a question marker. It's a question mark. right? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, it's that this is strange to explain. Um, you can think of it as like the a rough translation is like saying is, am, are, or it's a period and things like that. And by adding ka at the end of it, you turn that declaration into more of a polite question, right? That's like okay. So essentially, right, you would say you are a student, right? The word for student is gakusei. So, you can say the full correct sentence is watashi wa. Watashi is I. Wa is a subject marker, subject particle. And the particle it's marking is watashi, which is I. Watashi wa gakusei, which is the noun for student. Desu. Statement ender. So essentially, like direct translation without putting everything in order is I, student, am. Right? And if you basically are turning that into a question, which is a weird thing, but like you literally would just at the end of it and to say, "Watashi wa gakusei desu ka?" It's like, I'm a student. You know, I think, Doji, I'm gonna stop you right now and fucking slap you on the wrist. I'm gonna fucking kill you. Go sit in the corner. But essentially, this is like a statement. Yeah. Alright, so let's move on to chapter 7. And this one is basically, well, chapter 4, lesson 7. Chapter 4 deals with essentially like notating things around your own home, right? The main question here is 部屋が3つあります. Right? Welcome to my soul society. Well, yeah. You can also just say like, you can also just say soul society, like soul society yokoso, without saying watashi no. You don't need to say watashi no. You can't like you like yeah, you wouldn't, because yokoso is basically welcome. You would have that at the end. You don't really need watashi no. You can just like declare it and then yokoso without having it to be a full fucking. You don't need to have a full sentence there. It's pretty much implied. Or you would, the correct grammatical way would be soul society ni yokoso, something like that. All right, so 部屋が3つあります. So this is Mitsu, so 3. Da-da-da-da. Yes, yeah. So, Heya means room. Ie means house. Right? Hold on. Not to be confused with Ie. Why it is? Because no one wants to. I can't pay for that shit right now. Listen, I just fucking clean them and that's it. But right. So Heya is room. Ie, short. Ie is house. Right. How not to be confused with Ie, which is an elongated. It was just basically like which is no. So. Duck horns. Hold on. では、日本に引っ越すのですか？それとも、ただ勉強しているだけですか？ Well, kind of, sort of both. What Grand is, I'm gonna call you Grand from now on if you don't mind. So what Grand is talking, basically ask in Japanese is that, are you going to move to Japan or are you just studying? And kind of both. I'm studying right now just because I did go through like 2 years in university. And I kind of stopped after I dropped out of university. And my goal at one point was to live in another country and just kind of live there, and I wanted to live in Japan. So it's a far off dream, but I kind of want to make it a reality at some point. So I need to, like, I wanted to start streaming me studying Japanese so that I have, like, I'm taking myself accountable by having to sit down for a couple of hours to actually relearn the language. And I'm starting from scratch just because it's also like entertaining to new people to learn with me. But yeah. You should see your forehead. It's to die for. Why? Yeah, no, like, it's definitely something that I just wanted to do. And not for any sort of, like, I don't know. Because my other option, because my actual dream is to live in another country. A country that's not the US. I don't want to go to South America just because I also don't, I've lived there for almost half a year. And I hated what I saw. Food was great, people were nice, but the crime, the politics, it's basically the US, but even more corrupt and dirty. Because there are a lot of very conservative fucking Spanish people, and I would not survive. I would be lynched. I'm barely surviving now here in the South. But yeah, so essentially, I like, the other option was going to New Zealand, because New Zealand is a beautiful place. You just didn't go south enough. What do you mean? I don't want to go to Miami. But yeah, so all right. Sorry, we're basically describing our home, right? Heya ga mitsu arimasu is basically saying room. There is 3. Arimasu is existing, is to exist, right? Mitsu is a counter of, it just means 3. And then heya is room. So heya ga mitsu arimasu, there's 3 rooms. We're basically going to be learning how to describe your living conditions with adjectives and things like that. Let's ほとんどの人は差別的です。でも僕は安いですけどね。Like, yes. Grand is saying, what's the word? 差別的. I actually never, hold on. Discriminatory. Yes. More or less, yeah. But it's turning around itself. Unfortunately, for people with like individuals in the LGBT community, don't exactly have a lot of, how do I explain this? Government rights, if that makes sense. Like, for example, if you are trans, you are not legally allowed to change your sex. And then there's some bullshit. I'm not sure if it's, last I heard, but I don't know if it's over or if it's still going. But last I heard, if you do want to make it official and change your sex on your government ID and like documentation, you need to become, they need to medically sterilize you. You know what I mean? Which is not okay. Not okay at all. Culturally though, culturally though, it is pretty accepting. There are a lot of really good LGBT like circles, a bunch of LGBT bars and hangouts. Japan is also really safe no matter what. If you're trans, a woman, drunk in the middle of night, like Japan is really safe in terms of like traveling at night. Like if you are drunk at fucking 3 a.m. in the middle of the street, there will be rarely anyone wanting to do anything to you. Still has, oh, it does. My bad. Let me change that. Oh. Let me edit that real quick. Thank you for reminding me. Ah, thank you.そこの手術はもう受けましたか? No, I haven't. I have not. I'm like, personally, for anyone who is just kind of like needs a reminder, or is the first time coming to the stream, I am non-binary, right? I am very feminine looking. I'm sure if you've seen my YouTube, I am very feminine looking, but me and my character have a penor. So there's that fact for you. Now I gotta find me, hey Duck, what part of Japan you want to stay in if you wanted to? But yeah, so Grand was basically, have you undergone any of the surgery, whatever, and things like that. I'd be scared to go near Kyoto. Why would you be scared to go Kyoto? Wait, you do? Did I? Yeah, but you didn't know? What? And also my character, like there's a bunch of character art with me with a fucking penor. Oh. We call it anaconda. You have a PP? Yes, I do. Tenji people add or remove penor all the time from their OCs. True. Well, no, anytime there is any sort of nudity on my OC, like for art reasons, there is always penor. There never has not been penor, so. But yeah, but no, in terms of like, there's a really bright and really good LGBT movement happening in Japan, and a lot of really good activists who are trying to go ahead and change things and aspects about the government. It's just unfortunately on the government side of things, structurally speaking, there's not a lot of leeway for trans people and LGBT people, just because it's a very conservative corporate environment when you're in the working culture. But everybody agrees that most Japanese corporate work is just fucking terrible. That's why most people enjoy working at companies that are more or so merged with Western companies as well, which are becoming more and more prevalent as time goes on. They need more kids, yes. They also do need more kids. So while I understand that, it still doesn't mean that you fucking force someone to sterilize themselves. to not spread the gene or some shit like that. Show me or didn't happen. All these years, how was I so blind? I don't know, man. I'm pretty passing from what people tell me. Yeah, oh, Oh, hell yeah! Fucking win! Alright, let me give you guys a little bit of a rundown real quick. Now I'm interested, but I'm gonna worry about this furry I met at the convention. So essentially, like, these are the unfortunate parts, right? In terms of LGBT laws in Japan, is that there's no national marriages, meaning same-sex couples cannot legally marry at a national level, in terms of official government rulings and things like that. Let's see. There are, though, like, in terms of like rulings, you can still it's really weird. And Japan has a very weird, very strange bylaws and things like that, where there are some relationships and common law marriages and things like that that do protect same-sex partners. There are there are certificates, right? Like, but they're not legally binding marriages, if that makes sense. They provide access to, you know, like public services, hospital visitations, and joint housing and things like that. For instances, like for example, hey, you can't live in here, this isn't all women's and all males or whatever like that, unless you have a partner. But the partner can only be recognized as if you are certified in terms of marriage. But then there are partnership certificates that recognize you as a couple but not legally a married couple. It's very strange fucking legal red tape there. But the other thing that is like unfortunate is that while Japan does have like harassment and discriminations and things like that, there is no anti-discrimination law covering sexual orientation or gender identity within the workplace. So technically there's nothing really stopping somebody, unless they get caught, of course, for discriminating for you becoming trans or you being gay or anything like that. That's why a lot of the times it's kept under wraps, so that you don't be outed by someone higher than you to fucking make your life a living hell, make you want to clip and things like that. And thankfully there has been a Supreme Court ruling that basically like removed the requirement for fucking for sterilization. So thank God. Small fucking win. Don't ask, don't tell. Yeah, in the most unfortunate means though. Like you couldn't even if you wanted to, because like you'd never know. But it's still like actual gender recognition within changes in your actual like family registry. You can only do it under very like restrict criteria, right? But the good parts is that in major metropolitan areas, there are a bunch of fucking wildly accepted and socially like accepted groups and areas. You like, of course, anywhere within like most cities, you can walk around in your full self and not be outed, or people won't like fucking look at you or treat you weirdly and things like that, and stuff like that. Exactly. I'm having this crisis about you while I'm giving my dog a bath. And he's like, am I bi? Alright, so now back to the lessons here. This is basically this is essentially trying to describe your room or your home. Watashi no ie wa samai desu. Samai is we're gonna go over some simple adjectives. Samai is small, hiroi is big, akarui means it's bright, kurai means it's dim, things like that. Basically, you're kind of describing how's the sunlight level. Very strange, you know? Then we have atarashi, new, furui, old, chisai, right? Which is small, or oki, which is big. Samai and hiroi mostly means like cramped and spacious. So you have small and big, chisai, oki, oki, which is big and which is small and big, and then you have cramped and spacious, semai, hiroi, right? So you would go like look around, like think about your home right now. So watashi no apato wa, apato is basically apartment. Ie would be home, so you can swap out the noun however you want. Semai desu. Watashi no apato wa semai desu. To demo sa atarishii desu ka? Desu ga. It's basically say it's cramped, but it's new. It's a new apartment complex. You know, let's listen to the examples that they have, so we can try to like understand, and maybe they have some unique, some unique grammar that they throw in there. Hold on, let me put down the volume here.
私は東京に住んでます。
私は東京に住んでます。Tokyo, place, ni, particle, location, marker. Sunde imasu. Sunde imasu means to live in. So I live in Tokyo. Tokyo ni sunde imasu. Or you can just say replace Tokyo with wherever you live. Watashi wa Florida no Orlando ni sunde imasu. Things like that, right?
私の家はアパートです。
私の家はアパートです。So, 家 can also mean home. It doesn't mean house, but you can just say home. Pretty broad. Orlando ni. Yeah, but it's spelled like this. Ni. Right?
一人で住んでます。
一人で住んでます。God damn it, man, don't you? Hitoru is the counter for person. So hitoru, which means one, right?
一人で住んでます。
一人で住んでいます. I live by myself.
私の家は狭いです。
私の家は my home is semi cramped. So they're the listing. They're like it's pretty basic like statements and things like that. Of course, like someone fluent in Japanese would be able to condense that and not have all the watashi no, watashi wa, watashi no, watashi wa, whatever, you know. But let's just poko a poko, like little by little, we'll understand. Sakai.
2. 私は北海道に住んでいます。
私は北海道に住んでいます。北海道に which is the northern prefecture, right? I live in Hokkaido.
私の家はマンションです。
私の家はマンションです。So, this is weird. You have apartment and mansion. I don't really know the difference between them, but they are essentially the same fucking thing. A condominium. A condominium versus an apartment. So do I live in an apartment well, do I live in an apartment or a condominium? Huh. I actually don't know. I'm not sure what the difference is between the two. You know? So I don't know. Like I think I think I live in an apartment, not a condominium. Because I think what they're referencing are these like, hold on, let me see if I can like show a picture of it. It's like one of those like it kind of looks like a corporate building, but it's all living spaces in the middle of like an urban city. So I think that's what a mansion is, or it's basically a condominium, right?
お 夫と住んでいます。
Ototo means little brother. Sundeimasu. So my little brother lives with me.
私の家は明るいです。
Watashi no ie wa akarui desu. It's bright. Akarui. It's like bright, cheerful, things like that. So I'm assuming because they live in such like a tall fucking complex, maybe suites, yeah. It's bright because obviously they can get the sun. Any apartment or home or anything like that beside this fucking large ass building would be kurai, not a dim, you know. Dark, gloomy. All right, next one. Asano.
3、
私は沖縄に住んでます。
私は沖縄に住んでいます。Or you could just drop the fucking 私は沖縄に You have location に住んでいます。Living. I live in Okinawa.
私の家は一戸建てです。
私の家は一戸建てです。I think that's hold on. We hear that again?
家は一戸建てです。
一戸建てです。That's basically just saying it's just me. 一戸建てlike cuz like 建て is just 一戸 is a number particle. So they're just saying it's just me living here. Though I'm wondering why they use that counter. Let me double check something. Listen, this is as much as me teaching you as me teaching myself. Yeah, that kind of threw me off because hitoru is the counter for persons, right? But he used the like the counter for just like unalive things, like not alive objects. I'm not sure why he did that, but he sounds old, so he might be depressed. I don't know.
家族と住んでます。私の家は
Oh? Hold on.
一戸建てです。私の家は一戸建てです。
一戸建てです。Oh! Oh! That's why it didn't make sense. Because it's an entire fucking type of home. So, ikodate is an actual complete different word. What does that mean? Ikodate. Oh, it's a traditional Japanese house. So the type of houses, that makes sense because like Okinawa is more on the countryside type of things. There are some cities and and boardwalks and things of that nature, but most of the houses there are rural. So I think they're meaning a traditional Japanese house. So the ones that you might have, like for example in the Studio Ghibli film in fucking fucking my neighbor Totoro, the house that they move into is an ikodate. If that makes sense. And then of course there are like modern ikodates, which is essentially it's still a Japanese style home, but it has more modern utilities and additions and things of that nature within a neighborhood. Just it's a type of floor plan essentially. All right. Back to what he was saying.
一戸建てです。
Mm-hmm.
家族と住んでます。
Kazoku to sundeimasu. Kazoku is family. To is like and as well. And then sundeimasu, of course, we know now, is the verb for living. So like I'm living with my family as well. You can translate that.
私の家は古いです。
Watashi no ie wa furui desu. It means old. It's an old home. There you go. The basic descriptions of describing where you live. But it's mostly important the grammar and the vocabulary that they use.
4
Yom.
私は大阪に住んでいます。
Watashi wa Osaka ni sundeimasu. I live in Osaka.
私の家は一戸建てです。
Yeah. Watashi no ie wa ikodata desu. It's a traditional Japanese home. My home is a traditional
妻と
Japanese
住ん
home.
でいます。
Sumato sundeimasu. Sumato. Is that a parko? What is that? Sumato sundeimasu. Sumato. What does that mean, chat? The voices, chat. What do they mean?
妻と住んでいます。
Sumato sundeimasu. I think that's what he said.
戸建てです。妻と住んで
Sumato sundeimasu. That's what he said. Suma is wife. Suma. Sumato sundeimasu. I live with my wife as well.
います。私の家は大きいです。
My house is big. Oh, good for you, fucker. Anyway, next. Oh, let's look at this word. どんな家に住んでいますか? どんな what kind of 家に house or home do you live in? 住んでいます. 住んでいます is to live. Ka is turning it into a question. So, what kind of house do you live in? What is your home like? Donna, what kind of? Think of like donna, because you might hear it all the time. Doko, donna, dochi. These are like what, where, when, why, how kind of words. So that's a good mnemonic you can hear when you hear the doko, donno, donna, dore, dochi, things like that. These are the important like what, where, when, why kind of things. Yes, doji. I meant dochi with the ch, not doji. But I think like doji could mean a couple of things like that. Because like doji I think has like the connotations of like clumsiness or blunder, but can also mean like the same thing or something like that. Oh, there is a character named Doji. So how does his name spelled? Dai Doji. Let's see what kanji he used. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. 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 That's so weird. Hi, Dr. Hoj. But hold on. If what I'm reading is what I'm thinking it means, hold on. What the fuck is this? Daidoju. Hold on. Cause like there's some people with the same like name scheme. Great Path Temple. Okay. Well, depending on how it's spelled. Ah, okay. Depending on how it's spelled. Well, then what if I spell it without the katakana then? With katakana then. So... This is actually tickling my brain. Hold on, this is tickling my brain. Gotcha. Okay, so Daidoju, when written in katakana, essentially is a surname. It's a very old surname that relates back to like a clan, right? But if you spell doju in katakana, right, it essentially means blunder, a mistake, or clumsiness. In the context of like other aspects of like that's everyday, right? But it's also like a term in the Japanese stock market apparently, which makes no fucking sense. It's a trade pattern. It's a way to call a certain specific chart pattern, like equal price, the same value, right? Depending on the kanji though, right? Doji can also mean young boy or a child, or when used in the context of like, because it really is really strange. Because look at this. This is doji. This is doji. And this is doji. All three of those say doju, but because of the different kanji, and this is why kanji is so important, right? Whenever you're reading Japanese, each of these, well, except for the middle one, which is katakana. The katakana spelling is is when you want to say clumsiness, a blunder, or calling someone a klutz, right? The one on the left is doji, but it's the kanji for child. Because the second kanji is essentially means like child or kid or something like that, while the kanji on the far right has the kanji for temple in it, if that makes sense. So whenever you're, and then like this is another lesson as to why context is very important. And the fact that when you're speaking Japanese, there's a lot of assurances and head nodding and verbal assurances to let you know as the speaker, and for you to let the speaker know that you are following along and such, that you understand what's going on. Now, when you're reading, which is where like the higher level of Japanese learning comes from, you need to be able to read the kanji and know what that kanji is, because knowing that kanji will allow you to know whether this person is describing a child or is describing a temple, if that makes sense. Or if this person's calling this person's a fucking a dumbass, a klutz, a blunder, things like that. So context is really important, and kanji is the main reason as to why we don't just all write it like this. First of all, writing every single sentence like this would be very tiring. This entire sentence can be fucking like literally combined down into kanji wa kanji ni kanji masu. This sentence right here can be shortened into this amount of space, like more than half. Like hold on, I'll show you. This first sentence, watashi wa Tokyo ni sundeimasu, right? I'll write this in like in what it would look like in actual like Japanese with kanji. There you go. See what I mean? All right. So, this is a can do. So this is an example of a conversational pattern. あなたの家はどんな家ですか? どんな家ですか? What is your home like? Right? What kind of home do you live in? 私は東京に住んでいます。どこに住んでいますか? This is me just writing in my terrible handwriting when I was younger. どこ, where, に particle, 住んでいますか? 私の家はアパートです。一人は住んでいます。私の家は狭いです。Just basic questions, basic statements. I live in Tokyo. I live in an apartment. I live by myself. My home is small. Things like that. Kazoku is home. Tomodachi is friend. Hitori de means alone. Let's see here. We got some vocabs, right? Terebu. Can't really see that, can you? Let me see. I can pull that closer. I cannot pull that closer. Hopefully you can see that as much as I can. As much as I can. But yeah, terebu, TV, table, table, sofa, couch, bed, bed, isu, which means chair, aircon. So literally air conditioner, aircon. Make sense? Anyway. Like I said, the language can be easy. Vocab is super simple. If you know a word, you know a word. And then most of the Japanese language is borrowed. If not almost completely borrowed. The hard part is the grammar and the kanji. Hands down. Let's see here. Oh, it's just basically helping out with counters and things like that. Let's look at them. Oh, oh, we have 15 minutes before I have to go check on the stew. Let me check something real quick. It is a beef bourguignon. Mm. Let me see here. Alright, there you go. Alright. A beef bourguignon. That actually fixes it, or no? There you go. Alright, let's listen to the examples, shall we? So it says here. Oh, is it not gonna play? I have to restart it, don't I?
ここは私の部屋です。エアコン
Oh, that's not right.
2、エアコンがあります。1、
What the fuck? Hello? Is this not the... Oh! This is... Oh, okay, I see. So what is this? What is this?
ソファー、テレビ
Oh, it's just pronouncing it. Duh. Okay.
2、聞きましょう。1、私のい
Sure. I mean, be right back, guys. Imagine being in class and the teacher starts cracking up while teaching you. So don't worry about that. Anyway, I'll be right back. Sorry guys, I had to check on the food that I was cooking. Hello, hello. Thanks, friend. I do have a bit of my food here too. I'm gonna give a nice good taste. The unfortunate part is that a little bit of the bottom got burned just because I like because I was following the recipe and just had to add a cup of beef broth, right? And I thought, like, that's not a lot of broth for wanting to simmer for 2 hours. So, like, essentially, the bottom had burnt a little bit because it ran out of liquid. Because I did a red wine simmer with some beef broth, and the recipe called for like 1 cup. And I'm like, wait, you want me to simmer this for 2 hours? I was hesitant, but you know. Yeah, no, it wasn't enough fucking liquid, and some of it, like some of the stuff evaporated, and because there was not a lot of fluids in there, it ended up burning some of the bottom. So I had to spend a couple of moments like picking out the burnt bits, if that makes sense. So let's see how it is. Unfortunate, but let's see. So good. They're still good. Do you like cooking? I'd say so. If I have everything prepped. The main thing I don't like is like thawing the meat. Because of my ADHD, I just want to cook and get out of the way. But like if I forget to take out the meat that I want to use, I just don't cook. And I eat some snacks or some random ass like easy to make meal. But like for today, since we had like went shopping and things like that, I had the meat already thawed. So what's my favorite dish to cook for myself? Also, let me get a spoon for this. 1 second. Hold that thought. Let me get a spoon because I'm an idiot and I brought a fork because I was using a fork. That's awesome. Cola. Come on, Lewis. Lewis, come on. Come on. Oh my god. There we go. There we go. Alright. Alright. So yeah, my favorite, like, if we're talking about for me to cook versus for me to eat, completely different questions, right? Because I have a couple of answers. I love food. If we're talking like something that I'm cooking, hands down has to be beef stew, like a good soup, like a good beef soup. I love that shit. I will eat that in one sitting and go for three fucking bowls on that shit. And I put some, like, you know, have some rice noodles in there, put some rice, extra, like, double up on the fucking carbs in that, and then sprinkle some lime juice. And I pass out for the entire day. But we're talking about, like, sitting down at a restaurant, I tend to go towards, like, some good steak. Maybe some good, fuck, what is it? I think it's a Peruvian dish, Fran. It's the one where it's like it's steak with like green spaghetti. You know what I'm talking about? And then if I'm talking like fast food, fuck, you can't go wrong with some mall food chicken teriyaki. You have the picky eating autism? Not really. No. Not really. I do have like some icks. The only pickiness that I have is for my girl will eat straight chicken for a week. Yeah, no, I'm not that much of a picky eater. I have friends who like they just like pizza and fucking chicken tenders and that's it. Which no, my tism comes from like textures. Also here, if you want to look at what my food looks like. That's my food. A nice with also some French bread. I took a bite out of it. With a nice dark wine broth. But you can kind of see that like for example right here, this is an example like right there of how like the some of the liquid went out too fast because the recipe's like, yeah, just put into fucking a cup. And I'm like, okay. And it fucking evaporated. Makes me a little upset, but it's still good. Alright. But like, I was a very picky eater. As a kid, textures on food were a deal breaker if I enjoyed it, but now I eat everything LMAO. I was kind of the same thing because like I was a picky eater when it came to vegetables, and I think the main thing is that like in a lot of Hispanic cooking, a lot of things is very mushy. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like there's a lot of like stewed vegetables that go along with your meat. Like pollo al horno or whatever. Like it's an oven chicken, but there's also like sopa de gallina, like a chicken, like hen, and it's like the broth, the broth of a hen over some rice, and the broth is just filled with a bunch of like, you know, stringy, a lot of starchy vegetables and roots and things like that. And I just can't stand, I can't stand the texture. At some point I look past it. Even beans, like beans is probably the closest example. I do not like the textures of beans at all. I really don't like it, but it tastes good. Like if I can try to like will past the texture, a good refried bean is delicious. You know what I mean? But it's the texture that just gets me so fucking out of it, you know? Certain things have to be separate, yeah. What's the worst meal I've ever eaten? What is it called? Ah, there it is. Humita. It's called humita. If any Hispanics here know it, humita. It's basically a corn masa blend. It's like a paste of corn blended with cheese, onion, some spices, and it has like maybe some meat in there too, and it's folded inside of a corn husk or like a leaf and things like that. And I was in Ecuador at one point, and we were hungry, and so we stopped at a place on the side of the road, and you know, like, and look, listen, you might be saying, for if you're from the States or something like that, and you're being like, food on the side of the road, listen, all right, it can hit super fucking hard. Food on the side of the road can be really fucking good, because they're made by like some old woman, like motherly woman, who's just trying to like make some fucking money, so you basically have a full home cooked meal on the side of the road, right? And this was such that, where this person was making humita, and my fucking family was going wild for it. Like, hell yeah, humita sounds fucking delicious. And, you know, to everything's credit, they thought it was absolutely delicious. But me, I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. They give me a whole one by myself. It's like this fucking big, almost the size of this book, the width. And I take one fucking bite of it, and I immediately start gagging. Because like the mouthfeel as I was chewing it, it was slimy, it was mushy, there were some like tastes in there like I wasn't a fan of. Luckbox, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Sacred Pond. Oh, let me take a bite of this. I don't want these to get cold. Ow. Huh? When she had, that's not good, Duck. What do you mean that's not good? Okay. So, let's move on. I think these are just kind of going over the counters, huh? Alright, let's see here.
家には部屋が一つあります。ベッドがあります。エアコンもあります。テレビはありません。
So this is basically Slovakia. Welcome. We're doing good. We're just learning some Japanese. Have you done a lot of traveling? More or less. Because I used to live in New York, so I would travel from New York to Florida a lot of my childhood, and then we had a good couple of trips over to Ecuador, which is where my family is from. But other than that, maybe it's been like one cruise here, a plane ride to fucking Massachusetts the next, you know? So nothing too extenuous. So I've only really been to Ecuador and Panama City, Panama, some Central American countries and things like that, but not extendedly. I want to like actually go. You know what I mean? And I feel like me being an adult, I want to do some solo traveling at some point, you know? Y todavía no entiendo una fecha de concierto. Hold on, I actually don't know what that fucking word means. Hold on. Concert? I don't have a date for my concert. Huh? Should I have a concert? Where'd you like to go in the future? Well, main place to like visit and travel. Oh, I didn't even see the fucking message before. On our city, every time, even after our death metal concert, we would be in a mood to get quesadilla. Oh, okay. New Zealand. New Zealand is like high on my list. Japan, of course, is high on my list. I'd love to see Italy, just because it sounds like a nice place. I don't know. I think New Zealand though. New Zealand, it's such a weird country to want to visit, but it looks beautiful. Have you seen the pictures of New Zealand? Like, hold on. Have you guys seen the pictures of New Zealand? Like, look at this shit. Look. Look at that. It just looks so fucking... looks so goddamn pretty. If I visit Colombia, I'm never leaving. There's a lot of tortas there, Ambu. I'm sure they would love to, like, landlock some American dew. You know what I mean? What? What? See, Amy knows what I'm talking about. All right, Sakai. So we're basically listening to we're basically listening to about the counter markers here, right? What do cakes have to do with anything? I don't know, dude. And just basically listing things in your home. So, Sakai-san, right?
Ni.
Mm-hmm.
私の家には部屋が3つあります。
So they're basically like, this is arimasu, remember, is basically existing, to exist. Essentially, it exists. Something exists. Arimasu. This imasu, right? Or des, right? Is essentially like a statement, but arimasu basically means to exist, like it exists. So like direct translation of this one would be ikutsu arimasu. Hold on. Ikutsu arimasu ka? Like it's basically asking how many is there, right? Is there how many, right? So they're in this question they're basically asking you, in my home, they respond, in my home there are such and such rooms. And so we're listening to the number marker for the amount of rooms and like for everything else, right? So we go back.
Ni.
Ni.
私の家には
Watashi no ie ni. And it's a little bit of tongue twister. Watashi no ie ni. In my home. Watashi, I. Ie, home. Ni, in. Right? Listen to that again.
私の家には
Watashi no ie is my home. Ni ie ni, in my home. So we're basically talking about in my home.
部屋が3つあります。
Watashi no ie ni wa heya ga
あります。
suarimasu. Oh. Wait, move your hand. I thought the screw froze. Oh no. I was just moving very slow. What are you sending me, Ambu? Amazing, Ambu. But yeah, So, well, we would like you can like the main thing I want to like focus on are these changes in the particles. It changes so fast, but we'll go through it again. This is a very interesting one. So,
2私の家には
私のmy 私の家に in my home 私の家に
部屋が3つあります。
部屋が3つあります。
家には部屋が
Hold on.
家には
家には You see there's two particles in there right next to each other. So listen to that again. This is like really good. This is a really good study point in terms of sentence structure.
私の家には
私の家には
部屋が3つあり
部屋が3つあります。We notice that they use 部屋が instead of 部屋は, right? Because both ga and wa are subject markers, right? Like when you hear it all the time, watashi wa, ambi wa, metal wa, cowboy wa, you know, basically the subject and then the particle subject, right? But in a question, or I mean in a sentence, any sentence, whether it be question or statement, right? You might most likely have multiple subjects in the sentence, right? So a way you can differentiate between wa and ga is that there are certain rules you can follow, and one of those rules is that you would use ga, the particle ga, in terms of whenever you are introducing another subject. So we're essentially marking that subject as the new focus of the sentence, if that makes sense. It's a pointer. So it's a pointer to a noun. So wa and ga are like subject pointers, right? So whenever you go like something wa, we're now focusing on what's happening to the something, right? But then you go something wa, something ga, right? We now know that the first part was just adding context to the where or what or why that this new subject is basically being focused on. If I'm making any sense at all. But that's essentially like trying to find the differences between wa and ga, because essentially they're the exact same particle. There's just certain ways and when you would use one or the other. It is a very complicated matter, and I went through this in a couple of sessions ago, but my language teacher basically said it might sound weird if you say ga or wa. And I asked her, how do you know? And she said, you don't really. You just learn. And I'm like, okay, great. Good talk. Let me get some food. This is a good potato. All right. Play. Why isn't it playing? Play, goddammit.
あります。
Okay, there you go.
テレビがあります。
テレビがあります. Noticing we're using ga because in this full conversational statement that I'm starting, we're introducing new subjects. テレビがあります. There is a TV. あります just means there is. Does it exist? Yes, あります. Existing. It's あります just basically means existing. As weirdly like meta like existential as that sound, it is literally just de facto exists. Does it exist? あります. Does it not exist? ありません. Does it exist? ありますか? You know? It's more, it's like, is there, is it, is whatever, you know? Arimasu is a very strange one to try to explain. Let's see what we got here. Come on, press play. There you go.
エアコンはありません。
Aircon wa arimasen. There isn't an air conditioner.
ベ
Terrible.
ッドもありません。
Beddo mo arimasen. This bitch doesn't have a bed. Why don't you have a bed? All right, Asana. What about your house? What about your home?
私の家には
私の家には
部屋が
部屋が
4つあります。
4つあります。4. He's got 4 rooms in his home.
テレビがあります。
テレビがあります。There is a TV.
ベッドが3つあります。
ベッドが3つあります。Out of the 4 rooms, there's 3 beds.
エアコンが4つあります。
エアコンは Hold on, say は or が
4つあります。エアコンが
が Yeah, of course. Yeah, just
4
after.
つあります。
4つ There's 4 air conditioners. Good. He likes his shit well ventilated. 小川さん。
4、
私の家には部屋が6つあります。
6つあります。
テレビが
This
2
bitch
つあ
has
りま
6
す。
rooms!
ベッドも2つあります。
Tatsu. 2 beds. 2 TVs.
エアコンが5つあります。
Itsutsu. 5 air conditioners. God damn. Alright. This is a can do. We don't worry about this. Oh! 遊びに来てください. Oh, I don't want to fucking write an email. デパート、レストラン、有名なところ、公園。Depato is department complex, department store. It's your Sears, Macy's, Dick's Sporting Goods. That's the word for those kind of places. Depato. Restaurant, restaurant. Yumena tokoro. I don't actually know what that means. Yumena tokoro. Translation. Oh, that makes sense. Yumena Tokoro, because Yumena is famous. Tokoro is place or spot, so it literally just means famous location, famous spot, famous location. It's just the word for famous location. Koen is park. So this one's basically saying, Roberto-san, 私の家はマンションです。私の家は明るいです。近くに公園があります。近くに公園があります。近く means close. So they're basically saying I live close to the park. 休みに遊びに来てください. Wait, what? Are you asking this person to sleep over? 休みに遊びに来てください. Hold on. I have to hold on. 遊びに来てください. Okay. 休みに Ah! Okay. Okay. It's oyasumi is sleep. Yasumi means vacation or holiday. God damn it. did! Oyasumi means to sleep. Yasumi means holiday. So they're basically saying, Yasumi ni, during your holidays, asobi ni kite kudasai. Please come visit. Asobi ni kite. Asobi ni kite basically means like to visit. And then kudasai is formally requesting. I won't forget that word. Oh, hold on. Asobi ni kite kudasai. Hold on. Whoops. Hold on. Let me get a full. Let me type this out completely. Yasumi ni asobi ni kite kudasai. Asobi ni kite means to come visit. Okay, gotcha. So yasumi ni asobi ni kite kudasai means come visit during your time off. Come visit during your holiday. Okay. What things are near your home? Anata no ie no chikaku ni nani ga arimasu ka? We can take apart that sentence real quick, actually. Anata no, your, ie no, home, your home, chikaku ni, close, ni particle, location, close to. Nani ga, what is, nani, like what is, what, ga, subject particle means that like whatever this what is the subject of what we're asking. Arimasu ka, does it exist? Does it exist? So when we wrap everything together, anata no ie no chikaku ni nani ga arimasu ka? What things are near your home? So, and this is basically just like a question example. Like this is an example and you just rewrite it based on your home. Like things like that. Alright, next lesson. Ningyo wa doko desu ka? Where are the people? Sorry, hold on. Excuse me. No, Anubis. You ate your food. Stop trying to be a puppy right now. Go lay down. No. Not no. No. Hold on. Go lay down. No. Cause like when I point away, he's like, "Oh, you want me to sit down? You want me to sit down and be a good boy so I can accept the food that you want to give me?" No, go lay down. Go lay down. No. Such a baby of a dog. Oh. All right. Hey, nani ga arimasu ka? What are some things in your room? You want to be a good boy, Doju? I'm sorry, I can't give you that title. You have to earn it. We have some vocab here. Would you guys want to know some vocab? Hon, book, toke, clock, tana, cabinets, shelves. Hako. I don't know what that's called, actually. I don't know what is that? What is that in English? Doji, before being a good boy, think about being a good person. Yeah, exactly. Kapu, cup. Shashin, photograph. Teburu, table. Ningyo, doll. Okay. We got some locational objectives. Ue, on top. Naka, inside. Shita, under. There we go. That's what it was. Shita, under. Yoko, next to. On top of, inside of, underneath, beside. On top, inside, under, beside. Ue, naka, shita, yoko. So, hako no ue ni. So, let me see here. So let's try to listen to these things here. Lesson 8. Excuse me. What is this?
1、
Mm-hmm.
部屋に何がありますか ?1、棚があります。2、
Oh no, we don't need it.
箱があります。
上、中、下、
Uh-huh.
横。1、箱の上。2、箱の中。3、箱の下。4、
I don't know what this is called. What's the direct translation? Like, I don't even know the name and I don't even know the word in English. Hold on. Hako. Box. Of course. Of fucking course. Okay. Box. This is called a box. I'm stupid. Don't worry about it. So, this is an example of how the no particle is a little weirder than you thought it would be, right? Because before, we're mostly like dictating that the no particle is essentially a possession particle. The way that we use apostrophe S for dictating ownership, right? Like that is Franz, but we would spell like Franz spelling F-R-A-N apostrophe S. Or Doji's dog. You would do Doji apostrophe S dog. That we know that the dog is owned by Doji. Things like that. So you would say, like, this doll belongs to Ambi. Ambi no ningyo. That's Ambi's doll, right? But it can also be used as a, it can also be used like, what's the word I'm looking for? Metaphysically? Objectively? Ownership? Objective ownership and things like that? Locational ownership? It's a very strange way of putting it because they're saying hako, which is the subject, right? Which is a box. No ue. On top of the box. Inside the box. Underneath the box. Besides the box. I need some validation. Cowboy no toke. Right? So the no particle, hold on. essentially, right, possession and association, right? My book, the teacher's car, the notions of someone relating to something, right? Let's see here. But it's also like, but instead of like possession, there's also the association aspect of no, right? So by association of the box, it's on top of it, it's inside of it, it's underneath it, it's beside it, right? By association, if that makes sense. Like an example, a baseball player, right? The word for baseball playing is yakyu no senshu, literally a player of baseball. Does that make sense? So it's also like a possession marker, but also an association marker. Yeah, like that's probably the best I can explain it. Let's listen to some more.
2、聞きましょう。
Oh, wrong one.
1、人形は？人形ですか？人形は箱の中にお願いします。
Alright. So this is an example. So this big ass sentence, right? Yamada-san no ue ni sorry. Okyaku san ga, hold on. Okyaku san ga kimasu. Let's see. Kara-san wa heya no yoji o tetsudaimasu. Hold on. Mono o doko ni akimasu ka? So obviously it has a translation in here, but I'm trying to pick apart the certain vocabularies that I don't exactly like recognize, like this one right there. They're essentially saying that a guest is coming to visit Yamada-san's home. Carla-san is going to help Yamada-san tidy up. Where in the room is Carla-san going to put the things? That is everyone's asking, right? So let's see here. Yamada-san no ie ni okyaku-san ga kimasu. Oh, okay. Okyaku-san means visitor. Yeah, I remember that. Okyaku-san ga kimasu. I don't know why it says kimasu. I thought it was like ikimasu or something like that, but maybe it's like a shortened or something like that. Kara-san wa heya no yoji o tetsudai desu. No. Tetsudaimasu. What is this? Heya no yoji o? Yoji o. What is that? 1 second. No. Hold on. Not. I wasn't typing in the Japanese and we're using my Japanese keyboard. No. Yo. Oh, that's not yo. What is that then? Hold on. Shit, did I forget an alphabet letter? 1 second. What is that? What is that? What is that? What letter is that? So maybe it's a S. No, maybe it's so. That doesn't look right either. Wait. No, still doesn't make any sense. 1 second, guys. Bear with me. Hey, yo. What is that? Mew, meow. Guys, am I going insane? That doesn't look right. What? Heya no yoji o. Heya no something oji. I'm actually kind of freaking out right now. What is that? Did they use a kanji there? No, they couldn't have. Yeah. 1 moment, please. Bear with me. Oh, you bitch. That's not what I wanted.
1
Hmm. Bro, hold on. 1 second. Let me see if I can get this real quick. This is what we use Siri for. Cleaning. So what's the word for cleaning? Cleaning, cleaning, cleaning. No, you fucker. Not cleaning. Fuck you.
洗浄
Tidy up, maybe? Oh. Katatsukeru. Nope, that doesn't look right either. I'm actually going insane. Hold on. Bear with me. Or don't. I don't care. Oh, I can just do that. Duh. 1 second. So it doesn't mean meaning. Soju. Soju means cleaning. Why the fuck would God damn it. Stupid ass fucking Google being like, I mean, like, that has to be cleaning, right? Or tidying up. What's the Japanese word for cleaning? Cleaning. Fuck off. Alright. So, 山田さんの家にお客さんが来ます。カラーさんは部屋の掃除を手伝います。物をどこに置きますか？置きますか？置きますか？そう、物をどこに置きますか？ So, mono means thing. Dono, doko means where. Ni is basically like the subject, the location of like where. And then okimasu ka. Let me double check what that is. Okimasu ka. Okimasu meaning No, that doesn't look right. Okimasu. Ah, to put, to place. Gotcha. Because, yeah. Kagi o teburu ni okimasu. I put, yeah, it's basically to put somewhere. Because to basically, like, okimasu basically means to wake up, or depending on the kanji that you use, to put in place. Okay, makes sense. Alright, so let me read through that again just to go ahead and practice myself, right? Yamada-san no ie ni okyaku-san ga ikimasu. Kara-san wa heya no souji wo tetsudaemasu. Mono wo doko ni okimasu ka? It's basically asking exactly what it says here in the translation. Some guests are coming over Yamada-san's house. Carla is coming to help clean up some things. Where in the room should Carla be placing these things? And then we're basically going to be listening to Yamada say like where things should be put, and we're going to be using the locational adjectives and vocabulary that's right here to understand what like these statements would look like. Make sense? All right, let's go. So
1、人形は
Ningyoa? There's basically just saying doll question mark? Where does the doll go?
人形ですか
Ningyo desu ka? The doll?
人形は箱の中にお
Hako no naka ni
願いします。
onegaishimasu. Listen to that again.
人形ですか人形は
Ningyo wa subject wa the subject is the doll.
箱の中にお願い
Hako no naka ni naka. So basically hako no naka. Hako is box. The no is basically an association particle instead of a possessive particle. Naka means inside. So inside the box. Ni. So
します。
listen to that
人形
again.
は箱の中にお願いします。
Hako no naka ni onegaishimasu. Okay, as we recall, onegaishimasu is a very formal request, right? And they're basically saying the doll goes inside of the box, right? Hako no naka ni onegaishimasu. In the box. So how would you say on top of, let's say like I ask you Fran or Ambi or Doji or Cowboy, if anyone can answer this, how would I say on top of the shelf? Just a quick little example. On top of the shelf. All the answers for that question is right here. Someone. While you guys answer that, I'm gonna take a bite of this food actually. Right. Correct. No. Because hako means box. What's the word for shelf? Or cabinet, or shelf, or wardrobe. Well, there's a word for a wardrobe, but it's right here. Exactly. On top of the shelf, on top of the cabinet, whatever you want to call this. What's the exact word? Hold on. What is tanna? Yeah, shelf, ledge, rack, things like that. Yeah. I have this on background noise, so I feel like I've been outed for not paying attention in class. It's gonna be on the test, cowboy. But yeah, essentially that's basically the association factor of what we're talking about here. So let's say, right? Let's listen real quick. Listen to this one again. Let's listen to number 2.
2本はどこですか？
本はどこですか？本 book は subject marker どこ where ですか question where does the book go 本はどこですか where does the book go
本はテーブルの
本は
下です。本はテーブルの下です。
本はテーブルの下です。下 means underneath, right? So, 本はテーブルの下です means underneath the table, right? You guys are, if you feel like, you guys are understanding the sentence structure here. So, all right, let's say something that you guys can actually see like right now, right? Right. Someone can answer. Your dog or cat just knocked over your clock. I'm asking you, where should I put the clock? How do you respond? How would you respond? Right? This is an example. I'm gonna take another bite. Do you put your clock in a box? I don't think you can really use your clock if it's inside the box though, friend. If it's broken, I put it away. Oh, okay. That would be context we would have needed. I'm like, whoa. But yes, technically that is an answer. You can say teberu. You can say tana. If you have another vocab word you would like to use, you basically, fucking, like I dropped the fucking slice of cheese on the floor. Where do you want me to put it? You can say inside the trash, which is gomi no naka, onegai shimasu, like put it in the trash, or you can say inu no ue desu. Put it on top of my dog. Slap that shit right on top of my dog's face. You know?
3時計は
Tokea? Where does the clockwork go? I mean.
棚の上にお願いします。
棚の上にお願いします。On top of the shelf.
棚の上にお願いします。時計は棚の上ですね。ありがとうございます。
Next.
4写真はどこですか？
写真はどこですか？ Where does this picture go?
そうですね。
時
計の横にお願いします。
Oh, that's an interesting one. Listen.
時計の横にお願いします。
時計の横にお願いします。Right? We just established that we put the clock inside of the shelf, right? And then it's like, oh, what about where does this picture go? It goes besides the photo. So toke no yoko ni onegaishimasu. Ni is the location particle. Besides the clock. Last one.
5. カップはどこですか?
Cup wa. Where does this cup go?
あ、カップはテーブルの上にお願いします。
Put it on the table.
わかりました。
わかりました。
テーブルの上。
テーブルの上. On top of the table. わかりました. You probably know that already. Is I understand or understood. Most of you are weebs, just like me. You know that shit. Come on. But it's starting to click, isn't it?
2.
Alright. This is a can do. Ringo wa doko desu ka? Hako no naka ni onegai shimasu. Place it inside the box. Hako no naka desu ne. Wakarimashita. Understood. Alright. Bum 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 ba bum ba da. All right. Let's see here. Boop. All right. Let's see this. Tomodachi ga ie ni kimasu. The tomodachi no ie ni ikimasu. Alright, a friend comes to your home, you go to a friend's home. Oh, these are some like these are some like cultural practices. So let's pay attention to this to see if something interesting pops up.
ごめんください。いらっしゃい。どうぞ上がってください。お邪魔します。
お邪魔します。ごめんください. Basically, you're coming over to someone's home, right? It is very formal to basically announce your presence sorry for intruding. So literally, ごめん, sorry. And then kudasai, please. So it just means literally it means please, like sorry, please, but essentially it just means like excuse me, right? When you're entering somebody's home. And then irashai means welcome. Dozo agate kudasai. Please come in. Agate. Right? Like come up to live to like please come up, please come in, things like that, right? And then ojama shimasu. Ojama shimasu basically means I'm like oh gosh. There's a direct meaning of all this. Hold on. Like because it basically like it's essentially like shitsure shimasu basically means excuse me, right? Shitsure means excuse, and like shimasu is basically like the moving like active verbiage of it, right? It's the conjugation, right? But essentially, ojama shimasu is a phrase. Basically means I'm sorry for disturbing you. I'm pardoning the intrusion. Like, please excuse me for intruding upon your household. You know. Let's see here. But gomen kudasai is like a way of just saying like, oh God. Oh, hi, Shadow. Yeah. So gomen kudasai means excuse me, or like may I come in, and things like that. And it's very much hand in hand with the word ojamashimasu, is basically sorry for disturbing you, sorry for the intrusion. I'm good. We're just like going over the last lessons for today. All right. How's your day going, Shadow? All right. Second one.
いい部屋ですね。
どう
いい部屋ですね. いい means nice. So, heya, as we all know, is room. ですね is like an open comment. It's like, right? It's a nice, this is a nice room. I wasn't out of sleep all afternoon. Probably the sub I ate. Oh, a nice fucking beefy sub will do that to you.
どうもありがとう。
Domo arigato. It's just like, thank you.
お茶どうぞ。
Please, some tea. Easy.
いただきます。
Itadakimasu. Thank you for the meal. Thank you for the food. Thank you, blah, 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 blah.
おいしいですね。
It looks good. Oishii desu ne. It looks good, doesn't it? Okay? 3.
これ何ですか？
Kore, it's a pointer. Kore, pointing at something nearby. Kore, nan desu ka? Nan desu ka? What is it? What is this thing that I'm pointing at?
韓国の人形です。
Kankoku no ningyo desu. Oh, you can't really see that, can you? Hold on, sorry. God, I really wish the camera system was just a little bit more. Maybe if I do this. Oh, you're seeing my lap. You guys like my lap? Alright. They're pointing at this little doll right here. And essentially they're just saying Kankoku, which is Korea, no ningyo, a doll from Korea.
そうですか。綺麗ですね。
Kirei desu ne. Pretty, isn't it? Can I go to pass the dip out of class early? Fine. Fine. You're excused. Have a good one, cowboy.
トイレはどこですか？
Oh, you probably wouldn't like listen. If you're gonna be traveling, you need to learn that statement. Listen, if you're traveling at all, you need to memorize this fucking statement, or you risk shitting yourself in public. Sumimasen. Toire wa doko desu ka? Where's the bathroom? Where's the bathroom? Toire means toilet, but in the context of like Japanese, it's essentially meaning like the restroom, right? Which is different because here in like Western civilization, when we say restroom or bathroom, right, we're essentially thinking about the place where we have our shitter, where we have the sink, and where we have the shower. In Japan, most homes have them separated. So there is a room where the toilet is, and then there is a room where the main bath is, and things like that. And you know, there are some like more compact living dwellers that have them both together. Even some so fucking compact that like the basin of your toilet is your water faucet. I got some really small rooms over there. I couldn't do it, but you get what I mean. But kochira dozo. Kochira e dozo. Kochira e dozo. Right over here. Please come in.
こちらへどうぞ。はい、すみません。
Hi, sorry for the trouble. Sumimasen. Alright, cool. What was I doing here? What was it? What was I doing here? I drew my home, apparently. I don't know. I drew where was I living during this time? I think these are apartments. I think these are apartment doors? Maybe. Huh. Okay. So. Alright. So, these are just basically some more vocabulary. Heya, room. Niwa, garden. Genkan, which is the main entrance. We don't really have something like this in our homes, but in Japan they have essentially the main entrance where you swap out your shoes for inside shoes. You might already like know what I'm talking about, just sort of like osmosis through watching anime or shows or any sort of like popular media within Japanese culture. There's a place where people put their shoes in their homes. That is called the genkan. That section, right? Toire, the toilet room. Ofuro, the tub. Daidokoro, the kitchen. Okay. We don't really have to worry about these. Like, let's listen to one real quick. Sakai-san. So they're basically showing people like around their house essentially. So donna yunban desu. Junban de onnai shimasu ka? Onnai shimasu ka? That's a new word. I haven't heard of that one. Hold on. Let's take a look. What the hell's going on? Okay, there you go. Ba-ba-ba. No, that's not right. Hold on. How do they spell it? Onnai shimasu. So let's see here. Donna Junban de onnai shimasu. Oh, hold on. Let's see here. Oh, whoops. Let's see. Hmm. I'm learning a new room right now. Sorry guys. I'm just like I'm a little confused right now. Junbande. Order. Okay. In order. Understood. Junbande. And then Junban means in order. Onai shimasu. I would like to make a request. Okay. Oh, onai shimasu ka? Would you like to come inside? Onai shimasu. Oh, hold on. So then... No, that's not right. Onai shimasu is a very weird one. 1 second. Let's look at this. Okay. Would you like me to show you a way? Okay. Yeah, Kashimasu basically shall do, want to do, right? So I guess I'm just a little bit confused about this verbiage here. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a better way of like understanding this one. No, that's not right. I guess it, well, I mean, of course it like basically means what order shall we like shall we like show you my home. So let's just start listening and things like that. So Sakai-san.
1、
Mm-hmm.
ここは台所ですか?
心は台所ですか? Okay.
台所です。
明るいですね。
ええ。部屋は3つあります。
Mm-hmm.
それか
部屋は3つあります。There's 3 rooms.
ら、ここはお風呂。
Hold on.
明るいですね。
ええ。部屋は3つあります。
Mm-hmm.
それから、ここはお風呂。
それ、hold on.
それから、
それから、
ここはお風呂。
and then here is the bath. それは、hold on, I have to listen to that then. Okay.
3つあります。それから、
それから、so I have to listen to that. I have to look at that real quick. Ah, それから just means after that. And then after that. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. それから、
ここはお風呂。
それから、ここでお風呂。
それから、ここはお風呂。
ここはお風呂。Yeah. ここ here. And ここ means here. ここ means here. So それから means is like a run along from the last sentence. And then here is the bath. Okay.
トイレはここです。
あ、トイレはここです。And the toilet's here.
トイレ。そうですか。
Okay.
1、
ここは
Oh, this is just like without the noise.
2、
Alright.
こちらへどうぞ。
こちらへどうぞ. Please come in.
うちには部屋が4つあります。
4つあります。
部屋が4つ。
4つ means 4. She's like, 4 rooms?
広いですね。
広いですね. It's fucking spacious.
ええ。ここは子供の部屋です。
ここはkodomo no heya desu. This is the kids' room. Kodomo means kid. Kodomo no kids heya. Kids' room. This is the kids' room.
いい部屋ですね。
It's a nice room. Remember, means nice.
それからここはトイレ。
それからここはトイレ。
トイレの横はお風呂です。
Wait, say that again? This is new?
ね。
それからここはトイレ。トイレの横はお。それからここはトイレ。
Mm-hmm.
トイレの横は。
Oh, トイレの横は next to the toilet
お風呂です。
is the bathroom. That's where I was like, wait, I heard that word before. トイレの横はトイレ、お風呂です。Next to the toilet is the bath.
ああ、ここは台所です。
This is the kitchen.
それからここは庭です。
庭。
あー、庭綺麗ですね。
It's a pretty garden.
そうですか。
Is that
ありが
so?
とうございます。
Thank you. Okay. Which sign shows the same name address as the note? Bitch, I don't fucking know. It's this one. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Kodomo no heya. Dining kitchen. God damn it. Dining is the dining room. Kitchen is kitchen. Amazing. Washitsu futon. Washitsu Wash. Hold on. I don't think that's wa. Is that wa? Or is that ne? 1 second. Wa in like one of the N one of the N letters looks very similar. 1 second. That is wa. Okay. I was confusing it with ne. My bad. Okay. Washi Suto is Japanese style room. Futon is a futon. Washitsu. Cool. Alright. I think that's it. Damn. That one's a pretty easy one. Not a lot of like super intrinsical data aside from the fact of like the locational stuff. I think was probably the most important aspect. This is something that's kind of like you'll like have to think about a good bit when we're talking about location of objects and what particles to use, essentially. Because like I was kind of thrown for a loop in this one real quick because they said Toire no yoko ni ofuro desu. Next to the toilet is the bath. So stuff like that can also like kind of shake me up a little bit. All right. But that's essentially that's chapter 4. There. No. Wait. Yes, that's chapter 4. Next chapter. Oh, nanji ni okimasu ka? Itsu ga ii desu ka? This is going to be a little bit of a harder one because we're going to be talking about time. We're going to be talking about time and relative distance, relative spatial like things, essentially like being able to explain what time of day is convenient for you, when you wake up, what time certain things happen. So we're turning into the time and days part of the teaching. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here and for vibing with me and for listening to me rambles for 3 hours. I'm gonna be chilling for the rest of the night, and I really hope you guys enjoyed today's lesson. We're probably gonna be having more mouse PI for hire sometime, maybe like Tuesday or Wednesday. So you guys should definitely come by. All right. I hope you guys have a really good night. Bye bye. Be safe. Have fun.